definitely didn't know that I did it. I went, anyways, let's move it along.
I'm not suggesting anything, but it's funny that you mentioned the Time Warner thing because that kind of goes into the segue of the JC Money Show recap here. It was unlike this show where it's radio friendly, and I don't necessarily mind if families listen to it. I try to basically whatever they can't say on Mike O'Mara is what we don't say here. So it's somewhat loose, but we have our limits on Get Ready America. Uncensored is certainly off limits, and Chip Stetson being the first guest. The F word was like every other word out of his mouth.
Oh yeah,
and but I love Chip Stetson. I've known him for many, many, many years. He is the promoter of Skull Wrestling Promotions, which promotes UPW, Upstate Pro Wrestling, and Kayfabe Dojo in this area in Rochester, New York. Mm-hmm. So, but Chip, I've known Chip forever, so he's got stories to tell. We can, we powwow. I thought it was good. But you mentioned Time Warner, and that was the first segment of that show, and I'm not going to give away the entire show, because if you haven't listened to it yet, you should. But I'm going to play a small clip here of what was heard on the JC Money Show Uncensored about Time Warner, and so that you get an idea of how angry I was with Time Warner and what the show entails. Take a listen.
Working, it worked just fine for 3 days. Then the Wi-Fi shit the bed again. So what the hell's going on there? Well, Don makes the phone call. Now we're starting to get the Bangladesh center. We don't want to deal with Bangladesh, you know what I mean? So I've got Sanjay on the line, and he's trying to tell me the same that I've been doing for 6 months when the internet started progressively getting worse. Rebooting, resetting, check the settings. Are obsessed with quote-unquote changing the channel. Like, I think that is the universal thing. Like, it's making it seem like they're doing something, but they're not doing something. I don't know what the whole changing the channel thing is. Either way, whatever the hell he did, it didn't work. Fast forward a few days, and of course at this point now we had a brand new modem that we picked up ourselves, brought it home, set it up. I didn't even get a chance to see the goddamn thing because I was away before the serviceman came. And then he brought in this other modem, evidently, that was supposed to be this top-of-the-line, top-tier modem we've never seen before. And then it didn't work. So then he says, all right, well, let's go back to the modem you had. But he brings out a previous year model modem, which was the one that we traded the first place. No, this will work. This works good for you. This works good for you. And then he bounces. Doesn't test the speed, doesn't test anything. So I get home, I look at this router, this modem. It's a modem-router combination. And I'm thinking, all right, Time Warner kept pinning it on my router. Kept saying that my Netgear router was which, Netgear is.
So yeah, we got that. We got a caller here. Caller, you are on the air here on Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network. Who is this?
This is Matthew Forrester.
Hey, Matt, how's it going, Matty? Yes, he is Matt Forrester. This is my stepson, Don's son, from the Junior Royal Comets B team. They won the championship a few weeks back. We were supposed to have him on, but we couldn't quite get him on there. Matt, how's it going today?
Good. I just got a letter from the senior high school.
The senior high school?
Says, yeah, dear Matthew, I would like to congratulate you on winning the B Team championship this season with the Junior Comets. It takes a great commitment from the players, coaches, and parents to achieve such a wonderful accomplishment. Our players and coaches thank you for representing RH football in such a positive way in 2014. Best of luck the rest of this school year, and we look forward to working with you in the future. We are RH. My best, Coach Montesano, head varsity football coach.
All right. That's awesome, Matt. That's awesome. We're very proud of you. How did you feel when you got that note? Did you smile as big as you did when you won the championship?
Yeah, I felt awesome.
All right. Well, you know what? Why don't you take us through, since we got you on here and everything's going good. We'll give you just another, 30 seconds or so, but take us through how you felt during that game. It was the championship game. Were you nervous going in?
Yes. Going into that game, I was feeling nervous about what would happen
And
just hoping for the best and trying my hardest.
What about during the game when you started realizing that, hey, this could really happen. We could really win this game. At what point during the game did you know that you had it?
I started noticing that we were doing really good and that we might have it at the end of the first half. And by the time I noticed we're going to win this, there was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
And so, all right, so, and take us to the moment when the buzzer hit, the clock struck 0, and your team won. What was going through Matt Forrester's mind?
Just amazement. The whole team was screaming, and everyone was so happy.
Yeah. Well, we were very happy too. We're very proud of you. And Dawn, you want to go ahead and say something before we disconnect here?
Yeah, I was so proud of you. I have to say, I was out there, the whole family yelling, screaming. Very proud of Mom. And I do thank you for calling in. I'm also very proud of you. That letter pretty much sums it up. You guys did great.
Very good interview skills too, by the way, for your age, Matt.
Thanks.
You might have a future in podcasting.
Thank you.
Okay, so hey, before I go ahead and cut this off here, do me a favor. Can you do me a favor real quick?
Yeah.
Tell the listening audience to shop gearnetwork.com/Amazon.
Shop gearnetwork.com/Amazon.
All right, thanks, Matt. I'm going to drop the call now. Take care.
All right, bye.
How about that, Dawn? How about that, huh? Pretty good.
It was.
You know, I was going to go and kind of continue on the whole shooting with Time Warner thing that I just posted or, played here. But, that right there, not necessarily a bad mood killer, so to speak. They say it's a mood killer, and that's kind of always a bad thing. Mm-hmm. No, I would rather end it on that note. That's a positive note to take into the next commercial break. And
let's go to commercial.
What do you think? Before we go, Dawn, just
sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm not the boss here, obviously.
No,
John,
you're not. You're just the executive producer. I'm the owner.
That's all. Just the executive.
But seriously, how proud are you of Matt?
Well, I think I said like 4 times. Oh, I'm proud. I'm very proud.
You said but that was in reference to the football. I mean, his interview skills for a 10-year-old is.
I mean, everything. I'm so proud of my kids. Honestly, I mean, he's such a good boy, and he's very articulate. So, and
not just Matt Marcus. I don't want to leave you out high and dry. I will get you on the podcast and something a little different. Maybe as we get closer to Christmas, because I know you like Christmas and stuff like that. So we'll figure something out for you, buddy.
We might have to get a microphone he can hold, so as he's jumping up and down, we can continue to hear him. But we'll see what we can work out.
All right. On that note, we'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Get Radio America on the Get Radio Network. Hurrah!
A week later returned, I reckon she was only looking for a lover to burn.
Ryan Wolfe here, the host of the Better Live Than Dead podcast. Join my co-host Mr. Perez and myself as we talk the latest and greatest through the sports world. For the latest, check us out on Facebook.com/BLTD podcast and hear us each and every week exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
Don't win my love. That heart is so cold.
Welcome back, everybody, to Get Ready America. This song is pretty groovy. It's called Don't from Ed Sheeran. I believe it's his name, yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I got it on iTunes, and you can get it too. Visit gearnetwork.com/iTunes. You can get it there. Get it on Amazon MP3. It's really a catchy tune, right, Don? Listen, what do you know? What do you know? All right, well, joining us on the line here, just like we did last week, and this might be a regular every week segment, you never know, the host of the Better Live Than Dead podcast here on GearNetwork.com, Ryan Wolfe. Ryan, what's going on, buddy?
Hi, hello, Dawn. Hello, John. I'm having an excellent night at work right now. I'm watching hockey and football. And obviously, I'm doing my job.
Oh, yeah. Aren't we all?
Absolutely. I'm hardly working. All right.
Now, when we began this podcast, it was pre-football game. Now, as we resume this podcast, it is during the football game. What is the score currently?
Last I checked, last I paid attention, it was 6-3 Buffalo.
Oh,
Not too exciting. Well, what happened was Miami had a 7-minute drive to start the game, got a field goal. Buffalo got the ball back, had a 7-minute drive, and a field goal. And then Miami got the ball back and fumbled it in the red zone, and then Buffalo got it back, got to the, I think, 2-yard line, and then kicked the field goal. So
that's
a whole lot of exciting football happening right now.
Typical Bills Dolphins, I guess, huh?
It's appearing to be that way so far.
Hopefully it picks up there. Well, we got a resident Dolphin fan here, Dawn, and we were actually talking about the Bills. I kind of gave her the description that I gave you for the blog last week, where I mentioned that the Bills had to win 3 of the 5 tough games that they had, which would included the Miami game today, and right now they're off to an 0-1 start after losing to the Chiefs last week.
Well, what I was telling a guest at work this afternoon was that the Buffalo Bills really control their own destiny, but they need to keep winning because right now, I believe it's 11 teams in the AFC over 500, which is amazing at this point in time of the season. That's obviously more than half of the division is over 500. But the thing about it is you know, in any other season, 8-8 or 9-7 might get you the playoffs, but this year 9-7 might get you 10th place, and it's going to leave a crappy taste in your mouth.
Not only that, 10 wins might not even get you into the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So it's crazy.
With the way that San Diego's played, the way that Kansas City's started to play again, it may turn out to be that way where you have a lot of high win teams in the AFC.
Okay. Now, Don, you being a Dolphins fan and me being a Jets fan, and Ryan, you being a Bills fan, I can safely say I hate you both. Because
I mean, come on now.
Listen, the Jets, they've been a royal snooze fest all season. They've been a circus. I guess from an entertainment perspective, you know, outside of Sunday, they're very entertaining during the week, the headlines and all that. But they actually won a game this past Sunday, which was amazing. So, but yeah, they're not going to scratch the playoffs. But you know, I guess good for the two of you.
The thing I was wondering, and I wanted to ask you, I was actually going to ask you to text messaging. Who the hell calls it that? Text messaging anymore? I obviously do.
I do.
The question I was going to ask you was, how do you feel about the Jets? Because right now, I mean, let's be honest, they're not going to win many more games, so it's kind of all about seeding themselves in the draft. Obviously, you want a higher pick to get a better player or set yourself up to get a better player. How do you feel with the Jets being 1-7 and winning a game?
I think it's typical Jets. Like they do when they need to do well, they tank. And then when it's like, screw it, you don't need to do well. Let's just play, mediocre vanilla football, if you will, and get a higher pick on the draft, and then they win. So it's really kind of status quo with the New York Jets as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I doubt the Jets would do much with the pickup anyways. It's not like they ever pick up anybody who's worth it.
Well, the thing with the Jets, and especially after this season, if New York media has it right, they're going to be looking at a new GM and a new head coach. So you're talking about a complete overhaul in the front office, aside from Woody Johnson, that's the owner of the Jets, and he has the best name in all of sports. But you would factor that in. Now, going. I don't know if you saw this, Ryan, but there was an article on ProFootballTalk.com earlier this week that Chris Johnson suggested that had Michael Vick started earlier in the season, maybe if the Jets modeled themselves after the Bills, how they benched E.J. Manuel earlier in the season, went with Kyle Orton and rode it into a winning record, so to speak. Chris Johnson felt that if the Jets had done that with Michael Vick, either started the season with him or benching Geno much earlier than they did, that the Jets might be a different team standings-wise right now. What do you think of that?
I certainly buy that. I mean, Michael Vick is a a tenured NFL starting quarterback. He knows how to win football games. That's kind of like when the Bills switched, as you mentioned, from EJ to Kyle Orton. It may not be the sexy pick. It may not be glamorous.